Hi everyone and welcome to my match review of Chelsea vs Derby and my match preview of Chelsea vs Crystal Palace. It was fantastic to see old Super Frankie Lampard back at the bridge and was glad that he got a great reception both before and after the game. In my opinion, he's one of England's greatest ever midfielders and doesn't always get the credit he deserves. Anyway, on to the game. Let's just say I'm glad that we're through to the next round. Overall, it wasn't a good performance in my opinion, but the main thing is we won the game. The first goal we conceded was dreadful. First, it started off with a poor pass into Fabregas from Cahill, who looked really rusty by the way. Then Cahill lost his footing and slipped, which allowed Derby to score with a great finish. Our first and second goals were both really fortunate, but credit to Zappacosta for putting in those balls into dangerous areas. He has a habit of doing that, as I do recall him scoring an amazing looking goal in the Champions League last season where he fired a ball across the goal. Sorry to be negative again, but I have no choice. It was again poor defending on the second goal. He started with lazy looking attempt of a tackle by Loftus-Cheek and ended with Emerson not picking up the attacker, which led to him scoring quite easily at the back post. I believe a little complacency was to play for this goal as well. Have to say, on the balance of play, Derby were by far the better team in the first half. It seemed as if every time we were passing it around at the back, we were avoiding pressure. I know Sarri demands this style of play from his players, but I think some of our fringe players don't have the capability to do this. As much as I like Christensen, whenever I see him play this season, he creates a sense of anxiety when he's under pressure from attackers. Yeah, I think he's a good player, but he doesn't really fit into Sarri's style of play, which was evident when he was subbed for David Luiz. This could potentially see him leave the club, maybe out on loan, but I could see him going out on a permanent, which would be disappointing. But if he doesn't fit in Sarri's style of play, then we can't really do much with him, to be honest, and he looks like that he wants to start at football games every week. On to more of the positives now. It was great to see Cesc Fabregas playing, and more importantly, getting into the box with a good finish, which he doesn't seem to do too often for the Blues. His goal record at Chelsea isn't the best. Obviously, yes or no, he's a king of assists, with many of those coming at Arsenal, but again, his actual goal record at Chelsea isn't the best. I think the Derby keeper should have done better with the deflection. However, I wasn't entirely sure why the Derby players were complaining to the referee about the third goal, as the incident with Zappacosta knocking the Derby player happened well before the actual goal. Morata started to play better in the second half, making good passes, especially after looking non-existent in the first half, like many of Chelsea players. Morata wasn't the only one. The second half started for us dominating possession, so to speak. However, we lacked any real urgency to kill the game, and I believe that we rode our luck towards the end of the game especially. As I've said previously, it wasn't a great performance at the bridge, but our unbeaten run goes on and we'll play Bournemouth in the next round, which looks like on paper a great game for us to progress to the next round. Obviously, I know football games aren't won on paper, but in terms of the other teams we're avoiding the draw and we've got a home tie, I think that's really good. I think we have a great chance of winning this trophy, but if we were to pass Bournemouth, I would ideally like the winner of the Middlesbrough game in the next round, as that would obviously make our chances of getting to a final better. The League Cup as a whole could be a real good chance for Sarri to get his hands on some silverware, something Klopp and Pochettino have failed to do in their managerial roles at Liverpool and Spurs respectively. Looking ahead to the Palace game now, this could be a real tricky one. Obviously all games in the Premier League can be tricky, but this could be especially tricky. With some players I know are rested in the week, I think Palace will come into the game with confidence. And after getting a point against Arsenal and being the better team for many parts of that game, I think this game could be a lot difficult than people envisage. I think we really could have done with Giroud in a game like this to battle with the Palace defenders to fight a bit more, but Morata will have to do due to Giroud's injury. The game should see Eden Hazard play some part if he is fit, and may also see a start for Loftus-Cheek. As much as Loftus-Cheek has played well over the past couple of weeks, I personally would start with either Pedro or Willian, a tried and tested player. That's obviously assuming they're both fit, of course. Even though Palace have come to the bridge and won in the past, I think we should win this game as long as we ensure we keep Zaha quiet, as he has been playing very well for Palace of late. If I'm going to go with the score prediction, I'm going to go with a 1-0 to the Chelsea, with the defender scoring a goal off a set piece. I know it's a bit boring, but I'm not entirely sure who else is going to score. It depends if Hazard starts and whatnot. But yeah, I do think we'll win if we're at full capacity and if we're at it. So that's going to end my match review for Chelsea versus Derby and my match preview of Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. If you like our content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to CFC Blue TV and support us across our social media channels on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Also, be sure to check out our written match reviews, including this one, by checking out our blog. The link will be in the description. Anyway, this is CFC Blue TV. Thanks for watching.